Thanks so much for joining me for this video today. We're going to be working through some glutes and through the legs a little bit. So this is a short video. It's a great add-on for your workout or your yoga practice. And I hope that you like it. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out on more videos like this one. Today you'll notice that I have with me a small resistance loop. If you have one of these, great, add it in. If you don't have one, that's okay too. Make your way to stand, we'll start there. Just remember to listen to your own body. So you can always modify any of these movements. I'm gonna step into the band so that it is around the legs just above the knees. Stand with your feet hip distance apart. Toes point straight forward, so inside edges of the feet parallel to one another. Your hands can be on your hips or out in front. If you have little hand weights, feel free to hold those in front of you here as well. And slowly just start to lower the hips down and back, and we'll just hold here for a moment. Notice where the weight is in your feet. So if you feel like you're sort of tipping forward and the toes are really gripping the mat, try to shift the weight back towards the heels instead, but also into the outer edges of the feet. So the knees track back slightly as the hips reach back. The glutes are fired up. The outer thighs are working as you create that tension in your band. And slowly inhale, rise up, and then sit right back down. And as you sit back down, make sure that you can still see your toes when you look towards the feet. So you want to think about your hips reaching down and back rather than your knees tracking forward. We'll do 3 more like this. Squeeze your glutes, especially at the top. 2. Hold this last one down and find tiny little pulses up and down through the hips in a 1-inch range. So not straightening the legs all the way up. We're staying nice and low here. Chest is open, core strong. 4, 3, 2, hold it down. And then from here, all we're gonna do is straighten just a little bit. Shift weight to the left, flex your right foot and lift your right leg out to the side, and then sit back down. Pulse, 2, 1, right leg kicks, down, 2, 1, right leg. So we're doing the same side. As you kick the right leg, all the weight shifts to that left leg. The left knee stays bent. So it's 3 pulses at the bottom and a little kick out the top. 3, 2, 1, lift and kick. Just a small lift. 2, 1. Let's do 3 more. Stay low. You might be feeling it on your left side. Okay, last one. 3, 2. Hold your right leg out to the side. Find little pulses here. Left knee still bent. 4, 3, 2, 1. Right foot sets down. 3, 2, 1. Left leg kick. So right away you'll notice we went right over to the other side. No rest for those legs just yet. 3 pulses at the bottom. Right leg stays bent. Kick the left leg. Keep the core active. Feel it into your right side now. The glute is probably burning. Keep going, stay low. When I say low, I'm thinking hips low, chest tall, open. 3 pulses, 2, 1, left leg kicks. 3 more. 3, 2, 1, kick. 1 more. Hold this one up, right? Coming into those little pulses, so all the weight is on the right side. Left leg pulses, foot is flexed. 4, 3, 2, 1. Left foot down, sit low, hold here. Weight shifts back slightly. And then fold it forward. You can straighten out your legs, maybe walk the feet just a little closer. Pedal out your feet. Okay, from there, keep the band where it is, just lower down to your tabletop position. Put your hands under your shoulders. Knees are under the hips. Pick up your right knee just a little bit engage your core here to flatten out the low back. Fingers are spread really wide to create a solid foundation. And then you're just going to take the right leg and slowly start to open it to the side, just a little bit. Bring it back down slightly. And lift. And lower. Slow, controlled movements as the knee pulls back in. We want to make sure we're not letting the band do that work, right? So the leg is working the inner and outer thigh, the glutes. 3 more. 2. And then this last one, we hold it to the top, little pulses. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the right knee right away. Lift up the left side, check in. Make sure that you're not creating this little arch through the low back. So you still want to have a nice flat back. Left leg opens to the side and then pulls back in. Also make sure you're not sort of dumping the weight towards the right as the left leg lifts. So you want to stay stable. Out and in. Out and in. Keep going, you're almost there. So if you're not using a band, you really have to focus on engaging all of the muscles in your leg. 3, 2, and this last one, we hold it up, right? Little pulses. You got this. Pulse. You're breathing. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it down. Go ahead, reach your hips back for a child's pose. You can shift your hips around just a little bit here. Take a couple deep breaths. And rise back up to table. And turn around so that you're seated, and we'll lower right down to the back. Band, again, just stays right where it is if you're using one. Plant the feet. Feet are about hip width apart. Take your hands alongside your hips, palms down. As you push into your feet, lift the hips. Inhale, the hips will lower, but just to a hover. They might lightly touch down, and then push back up. And again, you're creating that tension in the band, sort of pulling your legs apart just a little bit. Just make sure that you're not rolling to the edges of the feet. So the inner edges of the feet are still connected to the mat here as well. So big toe mound, baby toe mound, and the heels, all firmly rooted as you lift and lower through the hips. On this last one, let's hold it at the top. As you keep the hips lifted, try to drag your heels in towards your low back. Stay lifted. Keep dragging the feet in. Slowly lower the hips back down. And now take your feet out just a little bit wider. You can turn the toes out slightly on an angle. This is our last little movement here. Lift the hips up. And now pulse the knees apart and slightly in. Again, using the strength in your legs to pull the knees back in. Don't let the band pull them back in. Still keeping the whole foot planted. So it's just the knees sort of tracking out slightly and pulling back in by engaging your outer thighs, your glutes, your inner thighs. Your core is working. 2 more. And this last one, we're going to hold it open. And again, 1 inch range, little tiny pulses. Keep those hips up. Don't let the hips drop. 8 more. 6, you got this. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it. Lower all the way down. Go ahead and hug your knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Maybe rock from side to side. And you can keep your band where it is, or you can slide it off your legs. So your arms fall away from the body and drop your knees over to the right side for a moment. Take a few deep breaths. And roll your knees up through center and over to the left side. Let them fall. A few deep breaths here. Bring the knees back up. If you still have that loop on your legs, go ahead and remove it. Just set it aside. And then plant your left foot, cross your right ankle up and over the left thigh. And gently push the right leg away from you and create some pressure between the right ankle and the left leg. Or you can lift the left foot. Legs come closer. Weave your right arm through the space so that you can grab the back of your left leg with your hands. And gently pull the legs closer to the body, feeling a bit of a stretch through the right side into your hip, your glutes. 2 more breaths here. And release. And switch out your legs. The right foot is planted, cross left ankle over the right thigh. Again, you can find that gentle pressure here between the ankle and the thigh, or feel free to lift your right foot. Bring the legs towards you and grab a hold of your right leg. Release the grip. Set the right foot down and set your left foot down beside it. Slide your legs long on your mat and let your entire body relax. Take 5 to 10 deep breaths here. I encourage you to stay and rest a little bit longer if you need to, if you have the time to. When you are ready, you can start with slow movements, making your way back up to seated. Thank you so much for joining me for this quick little leg and glute buster today. Hope to see you again soon. Peace.